to the middle of October to start sourcing fall inventory, you're already too late. Buyers are shopping right now. So today in this video, I'm gonna be showing you 10 fall clothing BOLOs that sell fast. Whether you sell on eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, or Depop, you're gonna know exactly what to grab before your competition even knows what hit them. All right, no time wasted. We are going to dive right on into that first BOLO. Real quick, my name is Lee Meyer. I've made well over $100,000 flipping used clothes and other items on sites like eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari. And I'm here to help you succeed as a clothing reseller. So let's go ahead and jump on over to that first item.
All right, so first up are chunky knit sweaters. These items can sell really fast, especially in the fall months, and especially when you know what to look for. For anything that is oversized, anything that has a cable knit or fisherman style knit, as well as, of course, Nordic and Fair Isle designs. This is a really fun sweater, and it's actually from Walmart, from their Basic Editions brand. This is just in time for the holiday seasons that are coming up during the fall months. Don't forget to prepare for those, to source for those, because these types of items do sell. There is that tag, Basic Editions. This is a size large sweater vest that has those cute little jack-o'-lanterns and candy corn on it. This one actually sold for $65. And then this is another one with a very fun Fair Isle design. It's got that little stripe as well as geometric design, and it even has some animals mixed in there, lending to its charm. It's got some cows, some geese, some sheep. There is what that sweater looks like overall. This one is from LL Bean. This is a vintage item. You can tell that based off of it saying that it's made in Hong Kong. This one is also 100% wool, and this one sold for $150. And then this one is a very good example of that fisherman knit. This is from a brand that is called Aaron Crafts, and this is a brand that I find that a lot of resellers do pass over, do miss. I picked this up so many times just sitting in the bins at Goodwill after a lot of resellers have just left it, have just walked right by. And these sweaters typically sell for right around $50, some of them for a little bit more. One of the things to look for with this brand, as well as other brands, a clue to look for is where the item is made. So with this brand, you're going to see made in Ireland. But if you come across other brands that are also made in Ireland or other European countries with a similar design, there's a really good chance that those are very profitable items, especially when they're paired with a premium material like 100% merino wool, which this one is a men's sweater, and this one sold for about $46.
Real quick, before we get to that next BOLO, a quick thank you to Vendoo for sponsoring this video. Vendoo is where I run my entire reselling business. It's the hub that keeps everything organized. My favorite feature, auto sales detection. The moment an item sells, Vendoo automatically marks it as sold everywhere else. I never have to worry about double selling or forgetting to take a listing down. From cross-listing to tracking inventory and profits, Vendoo has everything in one place, and I could not imagine running my business without it. I'll put a link in the description to be able to get 25% off of your first month and be able to try it out for yourself.
The next type of item to be on the lookout for this fall that is selling really well is corduroy, especially wide wale, thick corduroy. 70s styles, Y2K styles, workwear are selling especially well with corduroy. Some of the brands to be on the lookout for are Levi's, Eddie Bauer, and Vintage Land's End. This is a pair of jeans from Y2K from the brand Jinko. It's got a little bit of an embroidery there, but you can see just how wide that wale is on that corduroy. It's a little bit faded there in the knees and at the cuffs, but that is okay. This pair of corduroy pants sold for $200. And then this one is a men's corduroy blazer. It does have some elbow patches on there, which I do find drives up the sale price a little bit, drives up that demand for those little features, those little details. This is From J. Crew, there is the tag there for you. And this jacket, it sold for about $43. And another pair of men's pants here, definitely a unique pair of corduroy. This one has mallard ducks embroidered on it, as well as pheasants. It has a hunting theme there. Reminds me of Duck Hunt. This one is from Polo Ralph Lauren. Unfortunately, there's not the best tag picture on this one. This one, a best offer of $50 was accepted. Now, all of the prices that I'm sharing with you in this video have been verified with Terabeak. When a best offer is accepted, I will tell you that. If you're wondering how to be able to look that up for yourself, I will link to a video up here where I walk you through how to do that. All right, next category that sells very quickly in fall months are plaid flannel shirts. You're especially going to want to prioritize anything that is heavyweight, thick, as well as vintage items. Woolrich, Pendleton, Eddie Bauer are some of the big brands that are selling in this category, as well as Dixon Flannel. This is a Dixon Flannel item here. This one actually has pearl snaps on it. There is the tag there, Dixon Flannel Company. Their tag design does vary a lot, but they are very unique, artsy tags. Here's what that one looks like, and this one sold for $50. Very typical for this brand. And then this one is a women's item that's actually been modified. It's a lower value brand, but there's a large patch there on the back that says it's 5 o'clock somewhere, and you're going to see these types of modified flannel button-up shirts. They usually have some sort of musical theme from an artist or a song. Sometimes you'll see them from a movie. This one does have a very cute detail there with that flower. This one is actually from the brand Indigo. Again, a very low value brand, does not normally sell for this much except for the work that has been done on this. You will find these outsourcing. I promise you do not have to be artsy. This one sold for about $45. And then this one is an older Stussy men's button-up shirt. There is the tag there for you. Zoom in on that one. And this one sold for a surprising amount. It was listed at $300 and a best offer of $250 was accepted on this one. All right, next up are leather boots. There is so much profit potential to be had here, and these types of items sell fast. There's so many different styles of items in this category of leather boots. A huge catch-all, everything from workwear to motorcycle to cowboy, and a whole host of items in between. Fry, Red Wing, Justin boots are going to be some of the big players in this category. This is a pair of those Red Wings. This is an older vintage item. It does have a few scratches there at the top of the boot. Very typical for a lot of these items that are leather. There is the tag on the inside if you have not seen Red Wing before. And this one sold for $200 after a best offer. And this is what I call a sleeper item, an item that's really easy to walk by. This is from the brand Night West, which can be a little bit hit or miss, but this one sold for as much as it did because of this style. So if you come across any of these boots that are very chunky, these are selling really well. There is the tag there on the inside for Nine West, and this one sold for the full price of about $90. And then this is another very similar style, but from another brand, and it's also brown. And this one has quite a bit of wear to it, including a stain there on one of the toes. You can see how much scratches and dinged those are. And this is actually from the brand American Eagle. There is the marking there on the bottom, American Eagle Outfitters. You will come across other items that are very similar to that are just American Eagle. Those are actually sold at Payless Shoe Source. Very affordable, very low value brand. But even if you come across those not American Eagle Outfitters, both of those are selling for a surprising amount. I actually do have a video where I cover this more in depth, as well as other Payless Shoe Source brands to look for. I'm going to link to that up here. But these American Eagle Outfitter shoes sold for $80. Another fast seller when it comes to fall items are wool coats. Anything that is vintage, anything that is union made, anything that's 100% wool typically does really well. And if you come across brands like like Pendleton and Harris tweed, those can be some very fast sellers. This one is a beautiful wool plaid coat from Pendleton. I'll show you the tag here in a second, but again, you're seeing that plaid pop up again, just like we talked about with plaid flannel. This one does have a few minor defects, a few moth nips there in that wool. That is very common with any type of wool item. Don't hesitate on sourcing those types of items, especially if they're from a good brand like Pendleton. Here's the tag on this one. It sold for the full asking price of $210, even with those little moth nips. And then this is another wool coat. This one is from Polo Ralph Lauren. You can see the toggles there on that coat, as well as it's hooded. This is what you might call a duffel style coat. And this one was sold on auction. It had one bid on it and went for $130. And then this one is a beautiful vintage Mackinac from the brand Woolrich. There is one of their vintage tags. That tag design has changed drastically over the years, but this one is definitely a vintage tag. Again, this is a Mackinac. You're going to see the double set of pockets there at the chest as well as lower down, as well as it has what I call a poacher's pocket there in the back. I don't think that is the real name. That's just what I call it. This one has a stain there on the inside as well, pretty bad there on the inside. Don't believe it's visible from the exterior, but overall in pretty good condition. It does have one missing button, but that one sold for $130. Next up are any varsity jackets or satin bombers. With these, you're going to want to look for things like contrasting sleeves, chain stitch embroidery, as well as chenille patches. Or if it's from a particular sports team or college, those can do especially well also. This is a varsity style jacket from Levi's. It does have a little bit of a contrasting sleeve there on the upper part of the sleeve. This does have quite a bit of flaws as well. It's got a stain there on that elbow, and then there is that Levi's tag there. This is a newer vintage item. It is made in Malaysia, if you're wondering how to tell on that. And this one sold for about $45. This is one that's actually from the brand Steve and Barry's. This one is not leather. It is PVC, so it's got a wool body there on the front as well as PVC sleeves and a PVC back. There is the Steve and Barry's tag. This is a very low value brand that normally does not sell for this much. So definitely use caution on most items. But the reason why this one sold for a little bit more is because of the Wisconsin Badger logo there at the chest as well as on the back. And this one sold for $100. And then this is one with that contrasting sleeve look. It's from a no-name brand called Sumac. This one actually does have a logo at the chest. It's not a school or any sort of sports team. It actually says Blue Cross Blue Shield of Texas. There is still a demand for these types of items with random logos, even with names on them. And this one sold for $63 after a best offer. Next up, quilted jackets and liner coats. This is very typical of the brand Barber, but there's a lot of brands that make these styles of quilted jackets. Let me show you what I mean by that. This is a women's quilted jacket from Barber. It has that corduroy there on the collar as well as the body, but it is quilted. There on the pocket, you can see where it says Barber, as well as on the inside, there is that tag on the interior pocket. For this jacket, when I went to look it up, it actually is showing in Terapeak that it did sell for the $100. So I'm not sure if it went on sale or other items in the store went on sale after that, and that's why it's showing $75 here, but it does seem to be that it did sell for the full price, $100 before it was put on sale. Now, this is another similar style of jacket from a different brand. And this one is from the brand that is called Relwyn. I love this one. It's so quality, so thick. A lot of their items just kind of heavyweight. You can see and feel how well these are made. And you can see that there in the tag details on this one with the stitching, as well as that embroidered bird. Here is what this jacket looks like. There's the back of it. And this one sold for $110 after a best offer. And then this one is a little bit different style, but I still had to show this one because it's a good reminder to go ahead and look into picking up even items that are handmade, items that are maybe a little bit different than your own style. This one is a handmade item. There's a small tag on this one where it says who it is made by, but a unique one-of-a-kind women's jacket. This one had one bid on it and it went for $65.
3 more BOLOs to go, including a surprising tiny fall item that is selling like hotcakes. Now, if you would love to be able to maximize your profit on every single item, see your average sale price drastically go up, then you're definitely going to want to check out becoming a VIP of the Empowered Reseller. You get access to my entire course Master Vault, my community where I do live trainings with my VIPs. I give my VIPs free access to my monthly sourcing boxes. These are deep dives into profitable clothing niches designed to help you boost your profits and boost your sales. All of the info on becoming a VIP is down in the description below this video, and I would love to be able to welcome you into our community.
All right, enough coats. The next category of items that are selling very quickly this fall are long sleeve graphic tees, especially 90s cartoon prints, college logos, bands, and sports teams. This is a 90s style long sleeve tee. This one actually has a tear in one of the sleeves, but it does have a tribal design as well as skeletons there on the sleeve as well as on the front. And even with that flaw, this one still sold for $67. If you'd love to be able to see other flawed items that are selling for shocking amounts, I'm going to link up here to a video that you are going to love. This next graphic tee is what I would call an all-over print. It's got the logo of the brand Light Bolt on it. Totally random brand, have not heard of this one before. This one is also a flawed item with some holes there as well as some seams starting to come out in those armpits. And this one sold for the full asking price, believe it or not, for $100. Then this is a graphic tee from a smaller band. Don't overlook some of these smaller bands because there can be really good followings with these. Not a lot of items available. This one is from the brand Skillet, so you'll see that there on the sleeve. And this one sold for $75. If you don't want to deal with bulk when it comes to fall and winter items, this next one is a really good option for you. These are plaid mini skirts. The items may be tiny, but the prices are definitely not. And there is a very good demand, crazy demand for some of these items, and they can sell quickly. This next one is actually a set that comes along with the jacket. It's from a brand that says That's Me. You can tell this is an older item because it is a size 5/6 as well as made in the USA. There is that set there. This one is a houndstooth pattern. Be very careful. I find a lot of people do mix up houndstooth and herringbone. If you're needing help with those different patterns as well as knowing types of fabrics that people are on the lookout for, then you'll definitely want to check out my guide. It's a very important piece of success when it comes to selling clothing, and this sold for $85. And I do get a lot of questions about different types of fabrics and materials. So fabrics are how materials are blended together. So you'll notice here in this title where it says tweed. That is how that wool has been blended together. Buyers not only shop by material, but they do shop by those different types of fabrics. Again, I've got it all covered inside of my fabrics guide. This one is an example of a herringbone design, not houndstooth. This one is from Abercrombie and Fitch. This is a size 6, so a little bit on the smaller side. But these skirts have a huge demand. You can see here that there's 37 people who have liked that item. And this one did sell for $125. I'm not sure why some pictures don't show the sold there across the bottom, but this one did sell for the $125 $100. They're verified in therapy. And then I had to show one more of these Abercrombie skirts. This is a houndstooth design. This one does have a small flaw there on the front, which did affect the price a little bit. This one is a size 4, but I've seen these skirts sell for over the $100 mark. This one, because it had that flaw on it, it was put on auction. There were 3 bids and it ended up going for $43. Next tip is anything shearling or Sherpa lined, or even if it just has trim, whether it's a vest or jacket or boots. These are a big seller when it comes to the fall and posing for those colder months. This is an example of some shearling lined boots from LL Bean. There is the brand logo there at the back. These are what are called duck boots, very similar but different to muck boots. I explain it all inside of my shoe keywords that sell guide. Very important piece when it comes to selling shoes. Here you can see a little bit of that Sherpa lining, and these did sell for the full asking price of about $88. And any Sherpa lined jackets, denim jackets like the one you're looking at here, this is a vintage Levi's jacket. You can tell the tag there by just taking a look at that. That is a vintage tag. That one sold for the full asking price of about $120. And another Sherpa trimmed jacket, Sherpa lined jacket for you. This one was made famous by Phoebe on Friends. It's got this fun floral embroidery there at the front, as well as the trim there along the body, as well as the sleeves and the neckline of this jacket. You can see the whole thing a little bit better here on that picture with those toggles. And this one sold for the full asking price of about $90. And this one is from the brand St. John's Bay, usually a low resale value brand. Because of the look, because of that Sherpa and shearling lining, as well as being seen on Friends, that is why this one sold for as much as it did.
All right, so there you have it. 10 fall BOLOs to start sourcing right now. Which one will you hunt for first? Drop it in the comments. And remember, knowing what to source is only part of the equation. The most important part? Getting your items in front of the right buyers. If you're wondering how to do that, then stick around for this next video where I show you exactly how. See you there.